Good evening, ladies and... Hold up, I got this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show. Today we're opening something. I don't know what this is.
5 boxes.
5 boxes?
Yep, 5 boxes.
That's epic.
Yep.
Alright, according to this guy, we are on a time crunch. There's only 4 minutes to do this, according to him. We wasted time for like 2 minutes, and you said we could have been halfway done.
And now you're wasting more time. Open the box. Folks are waiting. They got better things to do than watch us goof off.
You're right. Alright. Never mind. We're not doing this episode. Goodbye. Good night. The Shadow and Sun Show is canceled. Well, you're right. The Shadow and Sun Show has been canceled. It's not a Shadow and Sun Show.
Pop it up. Come on.
Have box.
Kind of heavy, so.
Oh, dang. I was not expecting that.
I told you they're kind of heavy. Just one at a time and I'll leave the treasure chest.
Revealing the secrets that there's actually nothing in here.
It's got treasure in it.
Basically empty. Did I just see a peso?
You know there's pesos in there.
That's a W.
Alright, folks. Right off the bat, back in 1979, 80, 81, sometime around there, I picked up this game called Starfleet Warg by Superior Models.
Oh, wait, this is a peso.
Oh, it's a Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
There's some of those in there. Hey, there's no Chuck E. Cheese anymore, so they're probably worth an actual nickel or something. This was a Starfleet or a starship combat game, and I played it a little bit. It's in here. It's got 5 different fleets of starships, but it only came with I think 4 or 5 ships, and the rule book, as you can see, is really tiny. It's I've seen it's a little over like 14 pages, 16 pages. I've seen video game manuals with more content, and then some fleet record sheets. No map whatsoever. No game board. You just had to make do. Mind you, this was the early days of gaming. It's still got its original percentile dice, and then it came with 4 starship miniatures. I think 4 or 5. And these ones are really small. Oh no, it's the carnivores, the avians, the aquarians or something like that, the fish people, the entomolians, which are the bug people, and then the Terrans,
OW,
which are, basically star destroyers. And all of these models I'm about to show you are still available from Monday Night Productions, who bought the game quite a while ago, and they still make them, but in white metal now. And the larger ships that we're about to show you, they're available from them in resin, and you'll see why they made them in resin, where they still make the little ships in metal, because these are gigantic ships.
Should I open this one first?
Yeah, go ahead. One of them is still out in my garage. I could not find the box for it.
Wow.
I couldn't find the box for it, and I believe it was, I'm not sure which one. Those are like torpedoes and little fighter craft that go with this particular ship. That is the Terran, gigantic. I mean, this thing is massive. It's super huge. Solid lead from back in the day.
Are you just going to die?
Well, this one's actually been painted silver because I wanted to not get lead poisoning, because it's got a lot of sharp edges and what have you.
It explains why it doesn't look like lead.
Yeah.
And it actually looks good.
Yeah.
Unlike lead.
And I'm probably going to paint these up. If you want to help, I'm just going to give them a simple paint job. Let's move on to the next one.
It's white.
Yeah, that
reminds
one's,
me of something.
I believe that is the fish people, the aquarians, or something like that. Although
Fish?
it could be, yeah, I think it is. But yeah, because it's got all the little round domes on it. You can't see it, but there's a lot of little domes all over it for, I don't know, fish bowls or something like that. But this could even be 2 pounds. They're super heavy. Well, let's move on to the next one. And just for comparison, I'm going to break out a Games Workshop.
What is this?
That is the Bug People.
Bugs are best.
Yeah, I really like this one.
I don't think there's anything. There's like 3 things better than bugs. Just on Earth.
So just as a comparison, you've got the Emperor class battleship from Games Workshop. Go ahead and pop out the next one. Or is that the Fish People?
Is there only 2 kinds of ships in the whole game?
No, that is actually the Fish People. That makes this the Avians.
There's only 4?
No, there's 5. I'm missing the Carnivore ship, and I know I have it.
What would that be?
It's kind of a weird shape.
No, kind of like what kind of people are they?
Fish. I don't know. There was really never any images of what they looked like.
Or are they like if these are fish?
The carnivores were actually like cat people. I know because I assume that because the biggest ship was called the Polecat, but they had the Tiger and Jaguar class, and they were all cat classed, whereas the Terrans had just names of old battleships. These had things like Mantis and I think even Roach was one of them. And the Fish People, I forget, and the Avians had different things like Hawk and Eagle type names for the other ships. But each one of these they're really hard to come by other than the resin ones, which you can just buy really easily. But I've had these in my collection, most of them longer than he's been alive, some of them longer than 20 years, but it took me a long time to get them. And some of the other ships are, about the same size, just a little bit smaller, until you get to, these tiny little fighter craft and torpedoes where they're dinky. But a lot of the ships have a very familiar look to them. I'm just going to say that. Things like Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica were obvious inspirations to a lot of these ships. And I kept them because, one, I collect Starship miniatures. But I'm hoping to one day find that one game that'll allow me to play fleet level tactics where you build your ships, build your fleets, and then do battle. This game right here, everything was based on energy, shielding and whatnot. Very Star Trek Next Generation, where it wasn't about hull points and armor and things like that, but it was all about force fields and allocating energy points. And I just personally don't like that concept. The technology to do that would be so far advanced of everything we know that it just seems a little bit.
For force fields?
Well, where your ship is almost made out of a force field. Once your force fields are gone, your ship is destroyed.
Oh, that's really weird.
Yeah, it's.
And also,
I'm oversimplifying it, but everything was about energy and managing your energy for your movement, for your guns, and for your force fields. After that, you were pretty much a sitting duck if you ran out of energy. Kind of like.
If you run out of energy, you're kind of screwed.
Right, but you still have armor and metal and bulkheads making up your ship. You could, potentially still, repair things and get back moving, and maybe your force fields are gone, but you could still take some damage, especially.
If the force field, if the energy for the force fields are gone, yeah, certainly. Once the shields go down, everything still functions.
Right.
But if the whole ship loses power, then of course it's not going to function.
Right.
It just sits there and takes damage.
And you would take damage to those systems, and they kind of just ignored the fact that you could maybe just take the damage to your guns or your hull and your armor and things like that. Ships, big old ships like this would have armor that's several feet thick.
Oh yeah, that's why
they kind of didn't account
to bring Star Wars Battlefront 2, the good one. Their space battles. You can't destroy the ship, but once you destroy everything on it, it's effectively useless.
Mm-hmm. But you like them?
Yes, this one's the best one.
Yeah, it's out of these, it is my favorite.
Well, no, it's because it's bugs, and also it's just the best.
It does have a really cool shape to it. They're all not bad, but hold that in one hand, and then hold this in another.
Actually, this is left hand because right hand is better.
Big difference, huh?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
Massive difference. And like I said, if someone threw this at you, oh man, it would hurt a lot. Oh, actually, this one's.
Want to test that?
No, not really.
Why not?
Because I don't want them to break, and they're very expensive. The last time I saw one of these, it was over $100, and that was over 10 years ago. To find and replace these would be very, very difficult. But you know, if I see them at a discount rate or something like that, I might grab a couple more just to have them. You know, so that there's, you know, when we do find a good Starship game, we can, you know, have multiple capital ships on the board. Although I have so many other ships that, you know, it might not really be necessary, but you never know. You know, if I find them for like $20, yeah, I'm gonna grab them. But there you have it. I'm not gonna show off the rest of the ships because there's literally like 100 ships to show off, but you can kind of get the idea of what they look like. And if you're really interested, you can go over, excuse me, to Monday Night Productions and check out the ships. They're not really that expensive. The rules have been updated and are far more than this. They also have nice cloth battle mats and space stations and other things like that you could add to, you know, really dress up a spaceship combat game. You all right?
Yes.
You look a little glazed over there.
Fine.
So, there you have it, folks. A little bit of treasure out of the old treasure chest. Next week, I will be showing off some other Starship models to go along with this month. And hopefully by then, we'll have the craft materials for our next craft video that will be from the mind of the little guy.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you said you wanted to do some Starship crafting and you had some ideas.
Oh, yes, I did have some ideas.
You still have them?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll work that out over the next week, and we'll be back with a craft video. I'll, of course, be back tomorrow with some sort of Dark Sun video, and we'll also be doing Gatekeepers and all that stuff. And then you'll see the both of us on Saturday night, where we'll be continuing the Shadow Chat, talking about... You forgot?
No, I remember.
Well, tell them what we're going to do, because...
We're going to talk about Joe Biden?
No, we're going to talk about Eldritch Horrors,
That's what I said.
Okay. I had a feeling you were going to go with that. So, until next time, folks, have a great evening, and...
Good night.